If you're trying to get into AI right now, this is the best place I could possibly start you, because almost everyone begins working with prompt engineering. That's writing better instructions for the model, and that's a real skill, but prompt engineering is only one of 4 things you need to actually build with AI, and it's the one with the lowest ceiling. So there are 4 layers to what people now call agentic engineering: prompt engineering, context engineering, harness engineering, and loop engineering. And they stack on top of each other, and each one gives you more control than the last. And one of these 4 layers is the layer that actually turns a model into an agent, so keep an eye out for which one. By the end, you'll know exactly what each one is, where it sits in the stack, and which 2 to learn first if you want results the fastest. I build agent systems in production, so this isn't a textbook order. It's the order that actually matters when you're shipping something real. Let's go from 0 to 100 agentic engineering style. Layer 1 is prompt engineering. This is the input. It's how you write the single instruction that you hand to the model, a clear task, the format you want back, a couple of examples, and maybe a rule. When you do this well, a good prompt is the difference between garbage and exactly what you wanted from the same model. But prompt engineering has a ceiling. You're only ever shaping one message. The model still only knows what's inside that one message, which takes us straight to the second layer: context engineering. Context engineering is the idea of managing every single thing the model sees in the moment it generates an answer, not just your instruction. This means managing the retrieved documents, the conversation history, the tool results, the examples, the system prompt, all of it. Because a model's context window is its entire world. Anything inside of it the model can use. And what's outside doesn't even exist in the model. Full stop. So the question stops being, how do I phrase this? And then it becomes, what information is really in front of the model when it answers? Choosing what goes in and what stays out, what order it's in, and how to compress it is paramount here. That's context engineering, and it's where most of the reality gap lives right now. Layer 3 is harness engineering. Now we go from talking to the model to letting it do things. The harness is the system that is built around the model, the tools it can call, the exact way that these tools are described, the code that runs an action and feeds the result back, the guardrails, the retries when something fails, and so on. The model here is the engine. The harness is the car that's built around the engine. Those tool descriptions are just as important as your prompt. I once shipped an agent that worked perfectly for me and fell apart in production because I wrote the tool descriptions for me, not for the model. The model only knows what you tell it about every tool, so if you have a vague description, wrong tool every time. And finally, layer 4, loop engineering. This is the last concept that turns a model into a real autonomous agent. The idea of loop engineering is pretty new, and it's the art of designing how an agent iterates. To do this, we have to define cases for when it acts, when it stops, how many steps it's allowed, what happens when an action fails, and how it knows when a task is actually done. Remember an agent that loops forever, calling the same tool on repeat? That's a loop engineering failure. Nobody defined what finished looks like, so it never actually finishes. Getting this right means an agent that can complete a 10-step task on its own. In contrast, if it's not executed properly, the agent can either quit early or spin in circles, burning money. So there's the full stack. Prompt engineering is how you write the instruction. Context engineering is what the model sees. Harness engineering is what the model can do. Loop engineering is how it keeps going until the job is done. 4 layers, each one wrapping the one before it. To start, prompt engineering and context engineering will get you the most mileage, almost 90%. Mastering these 2 alone will make everything you build noticeably better. And they're the foundation for the other 2. Get comfortable there, and then you can add in harness and then loop engineering when you're ready to build actual agents. So here's a real question for you. Which of these 4 layers are you on right now? Prompt, context, harness, or loop? I'll be breaking down each one of these layers in future videos, so subscribe so you don't miss it and drop a like below.